Yeah, the source is definitely in here somewhere.
Not somewhere. Right behind you.
You don't have to do this, Shriek.
But I do. And the name's Shriek now. I'll show you why.
Hey guys, Civilord here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlaneToys DC Multiverse Target exclusive Shriek, aka Walter Shriek. He is of course a character from the BatmanBeyond animated series, and I have to say it's nice to finally be getting some other characters from that series, because while we've had plenty of BatmanBeyond figures over the past few years, we haven't really gotten any of his Rogues Gallery. Yeah, I know there have been some in the past, but as far as fully articulated offerings, I don't think that's ever been done before, so it's really cool to see here. And I'm going to say this right now, this is a little bit more comic booky as far as the style goes, so if you want a straight Bruce Timm style Shriek, well, you're going to have to wait, or settle for this. But with that being said, this is still really cool, and I really dig this figure. But starting off with the Jokerbot collected build pieces, he comes with both arms, which I've already attached to save you guys some time. And this thing's coming together quite well. It's nice to finally have something to keep these little butterfly caps in check, because they do come with the torso, and they do just kind of fall out. So it's nice to have something holding them in there now. I really dig this so far. He's got this crazy gun arm, which I have to say, the hinge was a little loose on the elbow. It's tightened up a little bit, but I'm gonna keep it twisted one way in hopes that it tightens it up a little more. Next up, I believe, is the BatwomanBeyond, and she comes with the legs, so this will essentially be done. He does have some wing ports on the back, but we'll be able to stand him up at least when we get that figure in hand. Moving on from that, though, he does come with a collectible trading card, as I always say. So it's a Shriek there. Got a picture of him on the front. On the back, there is a bio for this character. If you would like, you can pause it, read it at your own leisure. Good stuff. And for the rest of the accessories, he of course comes with the typical McFarlaneToys display stand, which comes with all the Multiverse figures, and really all of his figures in general, just with different stuff printed on them. And he also comes with a effect piece, this big translucent blue kind of sound wave that attaches to his hand. You could attach it to either hand, but it is a little bit tighter in his right hand. It is a bit of a pain in the butt to get in there, though, but I will say once you get it in there, it ain't going nowhere. It's a little bit looser in the left hand, so if you're going to do that, just be wary of that. But I'm taking this out. You can see it there. Looks good. But now we have Mr. Walter Shriek, aka Shriek, and what a nice looking figure, man. That messes with the white balance to no end. I apologize for that. Hopefully this review isn't too dark because of that, but there's not much I can do about it at this current time anyways. But this guy is awesome. He is really fun to pose, really fun to mess around with. I really dig this figure. I have to say, if I had him before I did my top 10 figures of the year so far video about a week ago now, I probably would have put this guy in there over BatmanBeyond, and he probably would have outranked a few other figures, because I really dig this guy. I don't know what it is, but for a simplistic design as this guy has, it just works for me for some reason. He's got his cycloptic eye helmet going on there. He's got some translucent elements as well. The eye, the little kind of arc reactor on his chest, and the blue spheres on his hands are all translucent plastic. So if you shined a light through them, they would illuminate and glow as if they were lit up. So that's pretty cool. Kind of wish he had some kind of light piping so you could light this eye up from the back, but alas, there is none. Even though it would have been pretty well hidden because he does have this black strip going across his whole entire head there. But yeah, I really dig this guy. And talking about the aesthetic, he does have some line work going on in the legs, whereas I believe in the animated series this was all just smoothed out. Here you get some added detail, which I don't mind. I think that's cool. As much as I love the Bruce Timm style, I like getting more details and stuff on my figures. It makes them a little bit more interesting, in my opinion, although I'm not opposed to a Bruce Timm animated series universe line by any stretch of the imagination, but we have gotten some of those before. But yeah, I really dig this guy. I gotta say, though, he reminds me of a couple things. Or I guess a couple things may have been inspired by him. I don't know. But he kind of reminds me of the character Max Steel. It was like white, blue, and black as well. He was a little bit like Generator Rex. He could create constructs and whatnot. But he had like a very similar outfit to this guy. And then he also kind of reminds me of Ultimate Echo Echo from Ben 10 Ultimate Alien, who had literally the same style hands and elongated arms, and his power was all sound based, so that's interesting. I wonder if they took inspiration from this character, because a lot of people who worked on Ben 10 at least, I don't know about Max Steel, but Ben 10 at least, did come from the old DC Universe shows, so it would not surprise me if they were inspired by this guy to create that character. But going on a bit of a tangent here, articulation as far as his head goes is really solid. He can rotate his head, snap his neck, now he's dead. He can look up all the way. He can look down all the way. Back up. He can tilt side to side really good. And you can get a lot of posing out of this head sculpt here, so that's cool. Shoulders go out to the side about that far. Just about 90. The shoulder pad do hinder it a little bit. But not too shabby. They are flexible, so they do get out of the way. And they also move with the arm, so that's nice. So you can rotate his arm around. He's got a bicep swivel. He's got a double joint at the elbow. And he can cover his face up like so. That's funny. You can pose his hand around. It's on a double ball peg, I guess, instead of the traditional hinge and swivel joints we're used to seeing with McFarlaneToys. Now, I will say my only gripe really with this figure lies in the torso. Seems like they kind of missed the mark on this side with gluing these pieces down, but it doesn't seem to have a lot of airspace. Not a lot anyways, but some heat. I could probably pop this up and have it sit properly, but that's going to be a lot of work, so I'm probably not going to mess with that too much, because on this side you can see it's a lot more closed. But I'm sure that's not a thing with every figure. I'm sure all the figures are somewhat different as far as the alignment on that part goes, but it's just something I noticed on mine. That, and I do wish the torso got more articulation. The back range is really good. He can bend a 90-degree angle, but the forward range is lacking quite a bit. He can't really crunch forward. I don't know if Shriek was a very agile character. I've only seen some clips of him on YouTube, but if he is, he's really lacking in the torso. So that's a bit of a bummer. He does have a rotation, though, so you can spin him around, and some tilt side to side. He does also have a rotation at the waist. He's got the kind of rubbery diaper piece. It's not much like a diaper because it's not as baggy, but it is very flush against the figure, the lower torso anyways, and the hips do blend right into it, so there is that as well. And as far as the hips go, you can kick them forward this far without wrecking anything, so really good forward out of that. Kick them back down. You can have them go out to the side, almost 90-degree angle. He's got a thigh cut, which is limited, but it's there. So I guess if anything, these figures could benefit from a better thigh cut, but his is better than some. He's got a double jointed knee. And I don't think he can almost kick himself in his own rear, but that's not happening today. And then he has a hinge at the ankle with a swivel at the top and the rocker at the bottom, as well as a toe joint, which is loose on this side but tight on this side, so your results may vary. He also has the butterfly joint going on in the torso, so there's that as well. Standard stuff, though. But yeah, really awesome figure. I dig him. Super duper cool. Really nice to be getting another character from the Batman Beyond series, as I said before. But with that being said, get him standing up back here. Pose this arm down a bit. There we go. Woo! He is a little tricky to stand. I will say that. He is very tricky to stand sometimes. Not really because of the ankle joints, but just because his feet are a little bit on the small side. I'm assuming that's an aesthetic choice, though. So with that being said, let's take a look at some comparisons. First up, here is Shriek next to the only other figure I've reviewed from this collectible Jokerbot quote-unquote wave. Is it a wave? I'm not too sure on that one. But here he is next to the Batman Beyond. This is the version without the Terry McGinnis face on the mask. I do plan on picking that one up at some point, but for now we do have this one. And as you can tell, Shriek is a little bit taller than Batman here, but that's okay because I like my villains to be a little bit bigger than my heroes. Just makes them seem like more of a threat, in my opinion. And here he is next to our two regulars. We have the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus and the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. So with that being said, time to wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and if you haven't guessed it by now, I really dig this figure. And I hope it opens the door for McFarlaneToys to give us even more Batman Beyond related characters in the near to distant future, because while we've had plenty of Batman Beyond action figures over the past 5-10 years, we haven't really gotten that many of his Rogues gallery. Yeah, I know there were a couple in the Kenner line and even some fast food premiums, but as far as fully articulated action figures, I don't believe that's something that's been done before, and it's nice to finally have that in hand. That said, there is a Blight figure coming in the next few months, but I would like to see a Spellbinder, a Stalker, a Silk, and I'm pushing for a Mad Stand Man because you gotta have all the Henry Rollins voice characters, right? So with that being said, I would highly recommend you pick this guy up if you're at all a fan of the Batman Beyond animated series. It was a really good show in its day and still holds up today, and I hope its resurgence maybe leads to a new show or even more figures. Again, I'm pushing for some other characters from this series because we don't have that many. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. Let's show that algorithm who's boss, right? And if you haven't already, hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions, and don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this figure, if you like it, hate it, want it. But as always, keep the comments civil because the world sucks enough as it is. And until next time, I will catch you guys later.